like what you guys, I'm going to go against the grain. I'm going with TnC. They're the team I'm going to stick with my companion prediction. That's my logic,
Oh wait, did you do
double down.
Did you do TnC as well for your compendium?
Yes.
I did too, and everyone made fun of me. I'm not joking. Everyone was like, "You gotta pick TnC," and I'm like, "Yeah," as if you wouldn't. And everyone's like, "No way, they don't have a chance." But look, I'll let you guys go and jump into game number 1, and hopefully TnC can prove all those haters wrong.
Alrighty, we'll see if TnC have the tools to do it here. Definitely looking like maybe a slight draft advantage going Boom's way. See early moves coming out. Yeah, I mean, TnC, they're still in the upper bracket. Definitely draft-wise, they're doing something a bit out of the box here. Obviously, Brood, not at all out of the box. No individual here out of the box, but the way things came together, it does feel like Boom have managed to get some good counter picks in on low. How does TnC make this draft work? I mean, we're talking about, like, doom and gloom. What makes TnC, what's going to set TnC up to win this?
I think the biggest thing for TnC is if Armel manages to get a power rune. I feel like I say this every game. If Armel gets a power rune and he manages to kill this X at the bottom lane with the Brood, like one kill, right? One kill on the X and the tower is gone. Broodmother will kill the tower. As long as the X is not there. So I think that's going to be what TnC is going to be angling for. Because top lane is going to be pretty hard for the Void to rotate into because the support is a Phoenix. You don't really have any disables.
When those supports start rotating, power runes come into play as we have both teams going for some early 5-man moves. Smoke out from Boom, they got scattered by a dire ward, and
the battle begins.
Like, lanes are going to be going as you would expect. No crazy switch-ups happening here whatsoever so far. I mean, you mentioned the X against the Brood a bit with the laning stage. Is there any way a Brood with a Hoodwink support can win this lane, or is Axe just too much of a counterpick?
I think in the lane itself, Axe is too much of a counterpick, but the Broodmother might be able to cut the waves after 5 minutes when the creeps are, the cutting is disabled, because right now the Dota patch is such that you can't cut the creeps properly until after 5 minutes. So yeah, I think after 5 minutes when the Brood, maybe after the Brood has level 6, then that's where he can really come back and farm if he farms the jungle. As well as the lane creeps.
Terrorblade gonna tank an arrow there to try it. I don't know if it was intentional or not, but he kept the rage strip alive a little bit longer. So look at this bottom lane where it is the Brood lane. Not necessarily a whole lot of kill threat from the Lion Axe, at least I wouldn't expect. Maybe with the Battle Hunger Impale they can do good damage, but it'd be a lane where at least Brood doesn't get fully out of lane too fast.
Yeah, Wing is still considered one of the better supports in general in lane. And Brood really needs that solid lane support because the Broodmother really suffers in the first few levels before she gets like her more points in her E, where she starts to be able to go on the enemy.
You're dreaming!
How things develop there in these lanes. As far as taking a look at some of our other lanes, we've got the Armel Void Spirit in the mid lane up against the Mikoto Invoker. Do you think, how high do you rate Mikoto's Invoker? Is it something you think he's really proficient on?
Not really, personally, but to be honest, I don't think I'm a Mikoto expert. I'm not a Mikoto expert, I'm only a dev expert. Which is why I sort of like say that maybe I prefer Mikoto to play sword. So it's more towards his playstyle of farming and just Sunstrike for kills. But he's actually opted to go for Crosswax.
Yeah, I feel like the heroes I always think of with him as like his Wind Ranger in the past, his Monkey King mid, EA.
Zamber, yep.
See how he handles the Invoker. It's gonna, like you say, be Crosswax, probably see that early earn, just that space creating. Let's, just run around, I mean, you kind of say make space for an Axe. Axe is not your traditional hard carry, but I've seen this Axe do a lot when you do get that ability to snowball and pull ahead.
Yep, it's gonna be interesting to me if whether Boom makes stacks or not for this X, because like the thing I really pulled away from watching LGD run the X on Ame was that they knew how to accelerate him, and they didn't just treat him like standard carry that just hits creeps in his lane,
And you mentioned Hyde, that's a Mirana's job to make those stacks mostly?
Yep, and the Lion as well. Like the Lion can also once he has mana, he has the mana drain. He can stack in the Radiant main jungle, the camp on the left of the outpost, and the camp above the outpost. I believe he can double stack that with as long as he uses mana drain. So.
That works out for him. Bat bottom river. Mikoto denies the water room, but gets caught by the remnant, so he's forced back. Okay, he's not going down and does have the points in class, so has a decent amount of HP regen. They should be here.
The prize is mine.
Like this bottom lane's about to get very difficult as Missile gets the Vanguard up, which only 400 gold away from. They're just going to be tickling him at that point.
Yep. That's cute. Making stacks. His axe is already untouchable in the bottom lane. Like the Hook Wing's purpose in the bottom lane is not to shut down the axe or do anything to the axe. Hook Wing's purpose is...
Arrow goes flying through with the tornado. Unfortunately, very hard combo with the tornado and the arrow. And they just couldn't quite land it properly as Mikoto didn't have much mana to play around with as well.
Yep, I think TnC is just testing out whether they are able to first face this Brood. Because if TnC win this game, it's gonna have such a psychological advantage against all the teams that they're gonna face. Because you have to first face ban the Brood. Because this team, they dare to first face a Broodmother.
And they ban. Obviously, there's many heroes you can pick into the Brood. The Axe, one of the common ones, Border Pack. Gabby also rocking the I think that's the SMG one.
Yeah, he wants the steady pompipi.
Have you got a favorite voice line or?
My favorite one is the Motivate Trust one, where Fearless goes, "You think you good ah?" I love that one.
That's good. That's real good, yeah.
You good ah?
Glad we got some Arteezy sprays, even here in Southeast Asia. And all over the world, obviously. Household name. The Axe, well and truly problem, as he has the money for the Vanguard if he wants to go and buy it. So, and now, yeah, you kind of mentioned it. KezQ can go back to the jungle, make some stacks if he wants, or help out the mid lane. His game is completely open and free now. See, Gabby, perhaps in some trouble up top. They've got the arrow and they're going to land it with a nice placement.
Wow. Beautiful arrow.
Yeah. Definitely the man to watch right now. Hasn't been doing any stacking, but he's having a big impact elsewhere on the game.
The lane was not going that well for them. As you can see, in the CS, the TB is doing really well compared to the Pangolier. But yeah, that kill just like evens the lane out. It was really good.
Right.
No.
TnC, you said the one thing they need is power runes, and they've got the first one. Arcane rune for Armel. How soon you can start making some plays.
He gotta wait for his boots before he starts to rotate to the other lanes. So maybe he will just use his rune in the mid lane.
Okay, heroes. Hoodwink not bad. You've got Bushwhack, but I guess Phoenix could rotate in with a dive for some slow and with Fire Spirit. Yeah, they don't really have the best heroes to make those rotations. It's just the supports, because both Brood is going to be playing it by himself, and then TB is just going to be looking to farm.
Yep, they definitely need the Invoker to try to go on the Void Spirit before they are able to kill the Invoker. If the Invoker is just sitting back and farming, I don't think they're going to be able to just go on him from full HP.
I think Boom recognized that this mid lane is the one lane that's vulnerable, because both their supports are just sitting in the trees, playing around this lane, and they're spotted by Observer Wards, but they're just here to make sure that Invoker doesn't get gone on. Or if he does, they can turn it around. They do EMP mid, that's perhaps what they were waiting for.
Whoa.
They get the Impale follow-up. The arrow, oh, there we go. They get the kill.
Wow. Executing so well the past 2 days. Like, these things are not easy to hit.
Perfectly played. But yeah, the last few times they went for that.
The Invoker even like last hit the range crit, right, so that the arrow will hit, I'm not sure. Yeah, that was clean. And the stacks as well, like look at the Mirana, like he's making the stacks. The Lion as well is making the stacks. Oh man, this axe is gonna be big.
Yeah, I'm sure they want to pull back and grab some of those Jutron soon. But the Axe, you mentioned, is going to be big. He may be first getting picked off here.
Vanguard.
That's a rotation from Malmel. But yeah, A-okay. Mikoto TP's down here and actually earns him up to keep him nice and healthy, so... Axe may just want to head back to the jungle. There's so much farm and stacks waiting for him.
Armel did what he could. I called it like he needs to have the arcane rune and he needs to wait for his boots. He got his boots, he TP'd bot, but unfortunately they just lacked a little bit of damage.
Mid lane. Maybe another tornado EMP coming in on Armel. Once again, he'll dodge it using the simulate. That's what we saw the first few times before the arrow came into play.
Stacks.
Yep, I'm sure every time it approaches that around 50-second mark, he's asking.
Oh, this lion illusion. Topping the stack.
Radiant are scanning.
They're gonna get one stack off, but still, yeah, it's a problem on the more so on the other side with how many stacks are out. Top lane, they out diving, looking for this Tim skill. The arrow will give vision even if it doesn't land, so Boom get themselves another kill. They're just crushing this early game. Everything I think we're worried about with the drafts is kind of happening. This Brute is being completely negated, hasn't really been able to have a good time down bottom. Maybe he's going to start pressuring the tower and avoid. I guess the one thing with Axe is if he goes back to the jungle, he's going to be giving up this lane and tower.
Yep, definitely. And I don't think anyone on Boom really want to come down here. Maybe the Pangolier can come down here, but I think they understand that this bottom lane is TnC's only move. Like, if you bring a Pango bot, TnC is gonna bring 4 heroes to come and kill this Pangolier. So maybe what Boom wants to do here is actually to bait the Axe bottom. The Axe just stays bot because they know that bottom lane is the only lane TnC can move to. Void Spirit and the whole wing.
Those stacks will still be there 2 or 3 minutes from now. He doesn't have to farm them now.
Yep, there's no threat of it getting stolen as well.
Rolling Thunder top, FBZ tries to escape, but Armel was there with the pull. Another power rune, he had the haste rune, so Armel making the plays.
Yeah, Boom gotta be a little bit more disciplined with the power runes. These power runes are giving TnC a lifeline in this game.
Radiant's bottom tower.
Alright, see, Axe actually looking to invade the enemy jungle for a second. He goes in to peek at how many ancients and stuff are there, but decides better not, as like he is headed to his own ancients now, looking to start that power farming. And it seems like the call is just, let's just give up bottom tier 1 tower. We don't really, like, the game plan doesn't change necessarily.
I think communication got a bit of breakdown. The Broodmother is taking the stacks at the lion mid. Because the Axe didn't clear the stacks bottom. I think the Axe should have cleared these stacks before he left.
There's even another triple stack further up that the Brood might go find later on.
Yep, maybe the Pangolier is gonna try to clear it soon.
Axe had bigger ideas, you know. He's like, I'm only ancients, he says. Only care ancients.
Nah, but this is exactly what happened in their previous game as well, where Dreamer's Hell played Axe, right? He only farmed the ancients, and I talked about it. And after they lost, I felt that he actually had to farm a lot more than just the ancient stack. He had to farm a lot of other stacks as well. But it's like, this game is gonna happen again where he just only farms ancient stacks. His net worth at least is looking really solid, much better than last time.
Brood finds some of those stacks. He's trying to kill this line in the mid lane. Forces out an Impale, but with the Void Spirit backup, doing a great job collapsing on this mid lane. Has the web charges to make these rotations, and did scout out that stack in the neutral as well.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
He's actually playing in the top lane now. Are you feeling like, you know, the way Boom are playing or setting up this Axe, is it going the right direction now? Or, I mean, he's the top net worth, obviously, but is this where you want your Axe to be at 12 minutes in?
I think it's not ideal because he didn't take the other stacks, and the Brood actually, look at the Brood's net worth, right? Brood was doing pretty poorly at the start, but now he's like all back. He's even richer than Invoker and the Pangolier.
Well, it was a Rolling Thunder bottom. It bounced around some walls, didn't really amount to a whole lot, as
Dire's top
like
tower
Boom were attempting to push TnC out of this bottom lane, but they're unsuccessful in doing so. And once again, Armel has another rune. He's got to double damage this time. He's slowly starting to help TnC claw their way back in. They were down 2,000 gold at like 6 or 7 minutes into this game, it felt like the lanes had gone really poorly, but suddenly TnC over the last 5 minutes have pulled themselves back into this
Radiant's
game.
middle tower is
Yeah,
under attack.
it really felt like while this Axe was clearing the Ancients and going top lane to farm, the rest of the Boom heroes just didn't really achieve anything. They didn't even really farm anything. I'm not sure the FBZ is quite poor on the Pangolier. Even though he's sat at bottom lane for a while. He's in mid lane now. Yeah,
Dire's
Boom is
top
trying to
tower
open up
is
this top
under
tower
attack.
because it's gonna open up a lot of the space to farm for the Axe after he has the Manta.
Manta, yeah, online fairly
Radiant's
soon.
bottom
Can he
tower is under attack.
see his team take this top tier 1 tower? Mikoto, fairly quiet game for the Invoker, other than that
Dire's
one
top
kill
tower
mid
is under attack.
on the Void Spirit, where his supports rode it. We feel like hasn't really seen him able to make
Radiant's
plays around the
bottom
map. Is
tower
it just
is under attack.
farming, or is he just not finding any good opening?
I honestly think maybe a part of it is just this being TI qualifiers, you know. Like usually we see all these invokers, they get so much shit done, you know. Like when they play crosswax, they get so many kills all over the place. Because people play so carelessly.
Dire's
But it really
top
does feel like in
tower
these
is
TI
under
qualifiers,
attack.
all these crosswax invokers haven't been finding the same kind of success they used to be. I think everyone's
feel
just playing
this-
tighter.
Yeah. This is, I think, the 4th
Dire's
best of
top
3 I've
tower
cast,
has
and they've
fallen.
all been the upper bracket teams. Teams like, yeah, Fnatic, TnC, Boom.
Radiant's middle tower is
and
under attack.
all these games at like 15 minutes in, they have like, yeah, 5
Radiant's
kills.
middle
It's a
tower
very
has
common
fallen.
theme.
Yep.
As mid lane, Dreamer Soul, TP in, but the tower's already gone down. Phoenix going to just dive out of there. Rolling Thunder being at least pump fake. He is going to go for this one. There's going to be a dissimulate, gets him to the low ground. Armel also has a void step. It's the astral step to get back to safety. So,
Dire's middle
I mean,
tower
even that's
is
like
under
back-to-back
attack.
rolling thunders just being used to kind. I mean, he's not planning on using it to zone them away. He's trying to go for kills, but TnC just completely disengaged.
Yeah, Boom has the stronger abilities right now, but they're not really getting the fights that they want.
Him's in the top lane. They go fishing with a Sunstrike after the Tornado EMP combo, but it's not gonna work. No kills going the way for either team, and they are trying. They are making these moves.
Yeah, I really like that they gave Armel the bottom lane to farm because as a Void Spirit, you can really start to lag behind in terms of farm if Broodmother is the one taking all the space, you know? Like the Broodmother, if the Broodmother takes all the farm bot, Void Spirit, you feel really bad if you have to hit jungle at this point of the game. So yeah, it's really nice for Armel.
And Brood is a hero that can, as we've seen, jungle just fine. It's farming jungle stacks and everything.
Yep.
Top lane, FBZ could be in some trouble. Armel rotated up here, and then they have the Bushwhack Sharpshooter instantly killed. Kescu could be next. This is an Arcane Rune Void Spring. He does lose it with the Tornado Dispel. Jumps forward out of the EMP. They could just be going for more here. They put the Sunray on Kescu's line. He's going down, and Mikoto says, "Get me out of here." He just TP's back base as TnC clear out this top side of the map. They get rid of the Boom, get 2 kills.
Yeah, and throughout that whole ordeal, the other TnC heroes, the Broodmother and the TB, they are not even interested to come. They just farm. This is what I mean during the draft. Like TnC's draft identity is that they want to play 3 lanes all the time. They just want to split you up. Like Boom has all this team fight and like spells, but they have to use it together to kill people. And if you're split out all the time, it's really hard to land those spells together.
Feels like Axe is the only one who's game is going according to plan, which is get lots of farmer. It feels like the Invoker has no plays to make. Pango's being forced to deal with the Brood lane because the Axe wants to farm the jungle. So Pango's just not being able to make any plays either.
Yep, I feel like this goes back to do these teams really know how to run this Axe? Because every time this Axe is picked, it does feel a bit weird, you know? It doesn't look like what LGD did at all.
Yeah. The hero has been an absolute disaster. Ti10 qualifiers, 28% win rate in 46 games. It is a shocker.
Yep.
Things continue to not look good for. I mean, it's top net worth, but Boom need to step out winning some fights, making something work here. They're down 2k gold. They're smoked up. Trying to find an opening here. Boomy, the perfect carry perhaps here in the front line. If it's going to be a blink call into an arrow, just to support. If TnC can cut their losses, they may be okay with this. Good fast fingers from Dreamercell to get the blink call before Phoenix could dive away.
Now that the Axe has a dagger, at least they're gonna have a lot more threat on the map. And maybe TnC can't farm that freely on the map anymore.
By the way, one play we haven't talked about, Gabby, TB, just free farming away. I mean, I'm sure Axe has been free farming, but surely, I mean, you know, TB, traditional carry. This hero should out carry an Axe, right?
For sure, like this, even though the Helix is pure damage and Gary is good against TB's high armor, but it gets to a point where if you don't win the fight on the jump as the Axe, this TB that has a Skadi is just gonna not let you exit the fight. You will just die to this Skadi slow plus Daedalus damage. And
even,
you know,
I imagine a Satanic at some point too. Into the step, they get the Bushwhack Sharpshooter. That kill threat potential, that combo is just destroying them. And with the Yule Scepter, they can just up this hoodwink for these kills whenever they want.
Yeah, Boom really needs to. I think Boom really needs to like start to think about how they're gonna approach this fight, because their lineup is the one that's supposed to be strong right now. If they keep delaying this game, like, I'm not sure what are they waiting for, like
Radiant's bottom tower is
Hata
under
maybe
attack.
on the Invoker, but it's gonna be countered by 1 4-star. So as long as TnC buys a
Dire's
4-star
middle
on their
tower
team,
is
on their
under
support,
attack.
the core shouldn't die to the Cataclysm.
Radiant's bottom tower
Yeah, it's
has fallen.
Been a game where TnC won the
Dire's top
complete
tower is under
control
attack.
here in the mid game.
Radiant's
Not even
bottom
necessarily
tower is
going
under
around.
attack.
Or there hasn't been a team fight yet. I don't think we've seen a
Dire's
single
middle tower is under
supernova.
attack.
Just pickups using Void Spirit Hoodwink. But you can see why Hoodwink is one of the most picked heroes. That's a hero that, okay, 50% win rate. Not amazing, but not bad. It's just solid. It's always good. It's reliable, and it's being first picked in most of these other regions. So, bring a lot, and they're going to find another catch. Dual Scepter. The full Mikoto's Invoker could be in some trouble. The damage pull-up is there, and with the Supernova, Mirana's blinking in, leaping in with the Axe. They're going to bring down the Supernova again. Mikoto actually survived. He's going to throw a Tornado. Great turnaround coming in as Armel gets slowed. The Void Spirit can't get out of this one. He's slowed down by the Battle Hunger. The chase is on, and they get the dunk. Dreamercell able to show up just in time to help Mikoto out, keep him alive, and that's the kind of fight that Boom were looking for. It wasn't one they started, but it turned out well.
Yeah, but at the same time, Gabby, TB, he took the bottom lane tower and the outpost. Now the map is going to be really tough for Boom to play. Bottom side of the map is going to be rather unplayable for them.
It feels like, yeah, the outcome was good, but it wasn't something orchestrated by Boom. If anything, it was just TnC going for a kill that they thought they had enough damage for, but turns out they didn't. Invoker obviously can be very hard to kill when he's got the defensive tools, the tornadoes, the MPs, the cold snaps, so.
Yep. And it's also like the other players on TnC being useful, right? When your teammates are going for a play, you don't just hide in your own jungle and farm. You know, you do something useful, you go hit the tower, you take the outpost, you control the map for your team, pushing the waves, fracture the enemy.
How things will go from here. 6
Dire
kills to 5, very
structures
even
are
in terms of gold. TB continuing to free farm, has this early to mid game kind of core items. The Skadi, the big one you kind of mentioned, once he gets that, he's going to be so tanky and there's no real running away from him. Heroes like Axe, even Pengo. You want a Rolling Thunder, and if this TB gets BKB off and meta, he's just going to right click and kill your Rolling Thunder.
Yep, I mentioned that the Pangolier was a good pick against the TB, but with this net worth, this Pangolier is just gonna die.
Dire's bottom tower
Poke on in,
is under
they're going to
attack.
invade these Ancients. It's just Axe illusions though. Armel accidentally jumps them, perhaps not realizing that they were fake. Themselves have backed off, recognizing that TnC are up to something. play of their own. Looks like we are heading for another late game scenario where we're 20 minutes in and neither. Ooh, okay.
Oh man,
game.
that was gross.
Without a brood for a moment. Nice initiation with the Sunstrike follow-up, and that's something I feel like, okay, they've had this blink for a bit, they immediately go to support kill. I feel like they've got so much kill potential with the blink call and the Sunstrike.
Yeah, they do. And I've seen this from quite a few teams. I'm not sure why the trend is to play such a slow game when you're when you have fast heroes. Like, I think they should just like 3-man smoke and like use the moonlight and get kickoffs and close the map, cut the waves, put the deep vision, you know. But how these teams have been playing is like it really does feel like the $40 million pressure, you know.
There's a lot at stake, but I feel like there's also so many examples of teams who go against this style where you see fan success. I mean, obviously, last 2 TIs, one by OG, and that was very much like, we don't care if we're down 10, 15k gold, let's run at them, let's fight, we're not going to play safe and sit back. It was much more aggressive style. Even TnC, I feel like, when they had success at TI, it was usually a much more aggressive style, but perhaps with some of the newer, less experienced players, they are reverting to this more passive style of gameplay.
Yep, even at the Animajor, the replay Animajor, TnC also played really slowly. They kept picking like some Viper post tree. And you would think that a Viper post tree will win his lane and snowball the game.
Has been killed.
What they did with the Viper was they lost the lane, and then they just farmed and they just held the game for 45 minutes, and then bought at 50 minutes with the Viper as a push tree. Just scale.
Radiant's top tower is under
Could be the big team fight. Smoke up, Moonlight Shadow in. Boom, want to go on this one, but do TnC know they're still lingering around. Your missile needs the vision. Armel, Nature spoke of the zone. They go for the blink, pull in, but they're not going to find the DX straight. But the Cataclysm bomb is there. The snowball coming on down as well. The Brute gets caught up in a tornado going through everyone. The Supernova coming out. Can they kill it? Hive wants to commit. Mirana wants his egg. He's going to get it right before he dies. Perhaps saving this fight, and with the TB dead, it's looking terrible. It's TnC. Kills the pieces. Armel looking to maybe salvage this. They get the dust from Mikoto, so TnC actually making this one turn out okay. They're going to lose one more though. The Void Spirit being taken out by Dream Missile's Axe, and it's a 3-for-3 bloodbath in the top lane. That's the team fight we've been waiting for.
I'm pretty sure Gabby just put off an insane play. He had a bottle illusion rune.
Guess it's my shout.
And he bottle illusion call, and he wasn't caught by the call.
Oh, that's that's the thing. I saw a blink call, but then I was like, I don't think anybody got caught by it.
I think so, but I think he didn't press his BKB or something, and he was still stunned, like to a Hex or the Rolling Thunder or something. Yeah, like even with such an insane play, the fights are still difficult for TnC. Like the amount of burst and the amount of control that Boom has is frightening.
Approach is going to be, I was about to say, it feels like one of the problems for TnC is not having any save against, you know, if Axe gets a blink call off to start a fight, how do you save that hero? It looks like one of the answers, at least they're considering. Gloomy has got an Axe up on Phoenix.
Yep, and Teams also has the 4-staff already on the wing against the Kata. But even if you 4-staff the Kata, he still can die if he's chain stunned by the Pangolin. So the Aga on the Phoenix might be quite big. But that's why the Mirana BKB is going to be so good, because you might be able to kill 2 heroes in the egg.
Hirosh, there's still Metamorph. TB died without using his Metamorphosis. So, Hirosh is so low. And Spiderlings are going to scout it out. TnC may just be saying thank you, Boom, if they can win this fight or secure themselves Roche. The Spiderlings no longer in a web. Need to be a little bit careful with those. The Pengu able to very easily clear them up. Arrows flying through vision. And Boom had that high ground ward above the Roshan pit, which is going to help them out here. They get the Tornado on the Brood. Rolling the Thunder on through. They want to take out the Brood first. Not sure it's a bit. Second rolling. He bounces. He catches out 3. SBZ. Has he got any follow-up? It looks like he's on an island, though. So Rolling Thunder is now on cooldown, and this is a Roche fight without Rolling Thunder. Suddenly TnC's thinking, maybe we can go into the pit.
Well, he's
You don't have
friends.
to worry.
One committed.
Arrow. Oh no! The arrow! It caught him mid-dive! Blink Cole coming on in. Gad with the Manta, he's going down, he doesn't get saved! He couldn't get the Sunder off! Now the Bruise is forced to run for the high ground. And it's TnC who lose 3. Armel goes down to the Finger of Death. Boom. Somehow win the fight. That arrow... I don't know what Phoenix was diving on through the Roshan pit for, but what bad luck for him.
Might have been on Gabby for not pressing his BKB, I'm not sure. Because if you press BKB, your hook wing can't force stuff you. But so the kata hit the TV, and he didn't get the Sunder in time, even though he was BKB.
Yeah.
Oh, that was so
Dire's
cool.
middle tower is under attack.
Those are the fights
An
that
important fight.
those are the fights that you look back on and you're like, Dota is really a game of like seconds, milliseconds even.
Oh, and then that's the thing. There's probably like 2 or 3 things on either side that could have gone differently, or that players will be saying, "Oh, we should have done that, or could have done that."
Dire's middle
Next time,
tower
let's do
is
this.
under
But
attack.
it can be just so complex as pick off. Dreamercell getting another kill. His axe is really starting to take
Dire
off.
are scanning.
Yep, and
Feels
for
like
now
more
he
and
is pretty
more.
strong.
Yeah, more and more we're seeing this axe, like, you know, we think of this as this early
Dire's
mid-game
middle
carry, but it feels like
tower
these
is under
axes are
attack.
scaling really well into this like 30 to 40 minute late game stage as well. Oh, catches out Tim's with a blink hole in the trees. Dreamercell,
Sunstrike the base.
didn't have the mana for the Culling Blade, unfortunately.
Yeah, I mean, I think for X is one of those heroes that if you are on even net worth with your enemy, you are kind of weak. But if you are ahead, like he is right now, he's so strong. He can kill any of the heroes with one call. And also because he has a Sunstrike.
Mindbreaker, nice item to have with the extra attack speed too, so. Where things go from here for Boom. The ones...
I was gonna say, like, this Aegis on this X just changes the game for Boom right now, because this X can just freely jump into the fight. He's not worried at all. Like, even if he used the egg, even
Dire's
if
top tower
Armel
is
catches him
under
out
attack.
before he presses BKB or whatever, something like that, TV uses meta to start hitting him. He has the Aegis, like, he can just reset. TnC don't have that many stuns.
Is there a timing or something TNC's looking for at this point? Item-wise or level-wise, or just
Dire's
wait for an
top
Aegis to
tower
expire?
is under
What
attack.
are they looking for to turn this game in their favor?
Oh, Gabby actually has a bottled DD rune, and he's 400 gold away from the Skadi. I think once they get that Skadi, maybe they will try to fight with this DD rune. I think that is smarter. I think this DD rune expire
Dire's
is
structures are fortified.
gonna be worse, I think. I think you have to
Dire's top
sort of look for a
tower
good
is
fight
under
right now. Because Doom are gonna force the issue with this Aegis for sure.
Fight even into the Aegis, you think they should force a fight?
While this DD rune is up, I think it's wiser
Radiant
to
are
fight.
Scanning.
If you do not have this DD rune, I don't think you can win the fight. And they are doing just that.
Yeah, they smoke up with 4. Nearby, very close to a completed Aghanim
Dire's
Scepter,
top
but
tower is under attack.
try to get it before a fight breaks out, I don't believe. Smoking down mid, they're not really headed towards where Boom is on the map. Doesn't
the
look
courier.
like some couriers to kill, but no, they're gonna run in. They find Kensuke. Armel. That's the solo kill initiation. Now the rest of the team smoked up may be able to find a way to jump in. Armel is just going in head first. Late call, but Armel could be in some trouble. He may have committed. There's the force off. He dodges the Sunstrike. The force off saves his life. Dreamercell has to wait for another call now with the Sun Ray coming out from the Phoenix Super Sun. Can they bring it down in time? Heidi dies. He doesn't get it. They BDTV. It saves the egg. Big PB. He did get the BKB off, but he's still doing okay. He's still got the double damage. He's just wrecking through them. He's trying to get FBC, who's just rolling thunder to get the hell out of there. Gets the
can't
swat
see
buck
the
into the low
DD.
ground.
The skin,
Yeah.
the cosmetic, they can't see it. They don't know that he's DD. Look, he's so blue.
Sunstrike, fishing, not going to find it. And it looks like they are going to try and hunt down and chase down Mikoto, who does go into the Ghost Walk to get the hell out of there. And yeah, like you said, they couldn't even tell he was double damaged, I think.
Yeah. Man,
That fight was just 2 supports dying, by the way. It felt like a whole lot more.
well, at least there's no more Aegis. So.
Yeah. And they came so close to killing.
Dire's
Tango
middle
there
tower
just had
is
so
under
much
attack.
damage mitigation. I thought a DD with Metamorph hitting you in your Rolling Thunder, he would melt, but he managed to mostly tank his way through it.
Angolier is actually catching up a lot in terms of farm. He's actually richer than the Invoker already. And Invoker is a Midas. It's pretty impressive by FVZ. He had a rough early game, he bought the travels. He understood that he needed to scale in this game. Took a lot of farm in the lanes. Yeah, now he's back. Do a lot in the late game against the TB.
All the items to impact this game, even the
Dire's
Orbit
bottom
Corrosion
tower
neutral
has
item,
fallen.
fantastic on a Pango. Close to 400
Dire's
yes
bottom
as
tower
well.
is
Obviously a
under
lot of those
attack.
spiderlings, but still
Dire's
impressive.
structures are fortified.
TnC just not finding the farm on some of these heroes. I mean, I mentioned that a potential Axe Phoenix would give them some save, but Phoenix has no way to farm that right now. Just trying to finish a Holy Locket. I feel like some of these TnC heroes are falling off. I mean, do you think there's a place for heroes like the Brood if this game keeps dragging out?
Not really. The only Brood build that I've seen.
It sure looks like it.
Like I was saying, the only Brood build that I've seen that manages to scale well in the late game is the EB Dagon build, where you really put your net worth into something very direct impact. Because on Brood you sort of farm a lot, but the late game you struggle to do a lot. I don't think it looks like he's not going for that build this game. He went for the Aghanims and now he's playing the Aga Shard, taking a different approach. I'm not sure. I think he's like completely fallen off at this point.
Yeah, you can cover the map in webs, but it's only going to do so much.
I actually don't really see the point of this Aga. I think it's he's doubling down instead of changing the direction of the hero.
Feels like all the pressure then is going to be on Gabby. His Terrorblade
Dire's middle
team
tower
fight's
is
coming up,
under attack.
working towards a Daedalus. His damage output is going to skyrocket with that, but carefully without the buyback.
Yeah, but
Boom.
I imagine Boom is still gonna be, you know, they're gonna give TnC the
Dire's
respect
top tower
they
is under
deserve.
attack.
Maybe TB, you know, is one of the best TBs in C. It's not something to be scoffed at.
Yep. I imagine, you know, eyes towards Roshan always at this stage of the game. We'll be respawning sometime in the next 30 seconds to 3 minutes. Imagine we'll see Boom being the ones who have better control around that Roche area. And they've got multiple Aeon discs now with Tango, as well as the Lion about to complete one as well. So they've got a lot of kind of defensive tools to prevent themselves getting bursted down. Particularly we've seen from the Voice where he just jumps in and tries to delete these.
Yeah, Armel also has a Aeon disc on the Void Spirit, and he actually hasn't locked it yet. So he might be able to pull off a 6-day Aeon disc in the fight against the Lion.
Gets like stunned or cold and then sees the Cataclysm coming down. He can
Just dodge the kata damage entirely.
See, it feels like TnC, they need to make some of those kind of clutch plays if they want to win it. It does feel like they are being at least outgunned a bit in terms of their basically how strong their heroes are in the late game.
Yeah, definitely. It's starting to become more and more of a Gabby show, like just waiting on our TB and seeing whether our TB will be able to carry this game, which he definitely could. Like, they don't outscale the TB, I don't think.
Dire's top tower
They match
is
him
under
pretty well
attack.
because of the Angolier mainly. Because you just can disarm all the illusions so well. But
Tango, what's he getting an Atos for?
he's getting
Armel going for the outpost, gets Blink Cold, power to follow up, but there's the Aeon Disassemble. That's going to bail him out. He gets hit by the Impale as he comes down, but disengaged. I thought that Anthem was like... Oh,
Blipnir.
of course, Blipnir, yeah, okay. I'm always like, why is he Natos? But yeah, I always forget about this item, because no one buys it usually.
I mean, I've never seen it. I've never seen this item being picked up in a Angolier like this before. But it looks very logical. Looks good.
Having, you know, both the damage output and the lightning as well as like an ensnare against heroes like Brute would be really very useful.
The Voice Spirit as well.
I mean, Yeah, the thing, even, the Void Spirit, the support, these are kind of heroes that could be alone and just having that lockdown and catch can help.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Go, Roach number 2. Cheese and Aghanim Shard. Both teams tossing around the vision. Blink call on 3. Cataclysm follow up. They delete. Void Spirit and Phoenix instantly dead. Aeon Disc was still on cooldown. That is not what TnC want to see. That's going to be a free Roach.
Aeon Disc on the Void Spirit was on cooldown. Broodmother knew he jumped there, then those 2 heroes were gonna die. Really good vision surrounding the Roach pit there. Maybe a slightly misplay by TnC.
The Radiant Ward, they've just kept their vision alive.
Everybody is
you don't need to go in.
both intolerant. Nobody wants to take the cheese.
So,
He likes the cheese. Oh, wait, no, never mind. Saw him.
they're letting it age. Fine
True.
wine.
True. Well, when it gets to the 4th Roshan, it's gonna pound into like smelly cheese.
Pinkier the cheese, more expensive it is, actually.
Dire's structures are
Here we go.
fortified.
They're going high ground. Mikoto TP's in with a boost of travel, and they're just looking to break the base here.
Is under attack.
No cheese, no problem.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
TnC are going to have to figure out how they want to approach this one. They've got Void Spirit back soon, so. Backing off. At some point, usually at some point you realize, like, wait, who picked up the cheese? Picked up cheese? Okay.
Radiant's middle
in
tower
the pit?
is under attack.
Yep.
It's also kind of hidden on the webs. Like, I even hovered over. Like, you don't see the
Radiant's
cheese
bottom
because of the
tower
webs
is
when you
under
hover
attack.
over that easily. At least. Trying to cut him some slack.
Dire
Bob
are
hiding the
scanning.
cheese. Smart.
Exactly. Tactical. He knew they'd get Roche, and he's like, okay, these webs will... It's looking really tough. Pengo level 25. It's all the items in the world. It's
Radiant
just
are scanning.
feels like they can deal with the TV because of how many farm cores they have to perhaps take over this dire triangle. That's where they're trying to farm the TnC side. Dream Missile blinks in with the call. Catches the Gabby TB, the Cataclysm follow-up. It's not going to do enough damage to initially get the kill here. Void Spirit, meanwhile, on the side, forced to run away. TB's just running forward. Gabby can't find a target in his metamorphosis. Right, BKB needs to be careful. Trying to get away, but the right click's coming up from the TV. They're going to chase him down with the Daedalus screen. He still dies. Even with the leaps away, that's not going to disjoint those attacks, so... Good setup, TnC for a better fight, but it's not like they have a supernova anyways to punish the lack of Marana.
Yeah, like I said earlier, like this TB, he's super strong, but he doesn't have enough disables on his team. He can't actually do effective damage. Like they killed Mirana, sure, but I'm sure they were hoping for a lot more than that with meta pop. Now that meta is gonna be down soon, Boom is gonna be able to take any fight they want.
And they're gonna get a free uncontested tier 2 tower
Dire's
as
middle tower has
maybe
fallen.
considering looking for even more here. They don't have the Marana. This is like basically like 4v5 kind of situation.
Radiant's top
Grim
tower
Missile's gonna
is
grab the
under
creep
attack.
wave top so they don't have to worry about the split push as much. Efficient. Invoker has got the refresher to go with the Aghanim Scepter, so a lot of damage output coming from Mikoto here in the late game.
Heavy. Okay. Call?
Okay,
No
BK
call?
TP. Axe up top.
I think that Boom needs to choke out the map a little bit better. Right now the Axe needs to cut the top wave. And because they have Aegis on the Pangolier, he can freely sit in the mid lane. He can cut the bottom wave as well. Like the Lion can mana drain the TV illusions. Like they're letting the map slip a bit too much, I think, on the Boom. You know?
Jump in. They've caught a hoodwink. Very quick and easy kill. You mentioned just choking out the map. They're just going to get as much vision up around the dire base. Try and keep TnC inside. Armel has made his way out towards the bottom lane,
Dire's
but
middle tower
like he's
is
going to
under
be forced
attack.
back to defend very soon.
Radiant structures are fortified.
Meta is still cooldown for another 30 seconds.
So you can see Alacrity on the Pango of all heroes. Aeon just prop. That's unintentionally, so he's going to be a little bit careful. He gets pulled back in. Does have the Aegis to play around though, so he should still be okay. Arrogant's flying through, not going to catch anyone, and FPC getting lower and lower with the sunray damage. Not enough to kill him off, and with the roll-up, FPZ still alive, has a salve to help him regen back up as well. They're just looking to trade this melee racks. Slow and
another
steady.
20 seconds on Aegis, 15 seconds.
Okay. I think Boom backing off, recognizing perhaps that exact timer that they've got to worry about.
The prize is
It's
mine.
like free excellent.
Things settle down. That means TnC feel like, okay, Aegis down, maybe we can make a move out together.
Alright, Aegis down, maybe we go take the cheese now, guys, or what? It's getting smelly.
That's there for next round. Then you get the double cheese. That's the real power spike.
Hey, right.
I can't believe how many games. I feel like usually when I'm casting Dota, like you'll get one game every like couple of months with tier 5 items. I feel like we've had 2 or 3 already just in SDA TI qualifiers, and we're 42 minutes in. We shouldn't count our eggs just yet, but it does feel like we're headed there.
Yeah, definitely. I don't think TnC is gonna lose this game just yet. I think they understand how their lineup works. I think they understand what fights they need to take. They need Boom to jump into them, and they need to somehow survive. Let this TB deal insane amount of damage.
We may just humor them. They smoke up. They're looking for that jump. They need to make sure they get that initial kill. Tims gets caught by the blink call. So does the Brood. And then the 2 heroes. First spike to follow it up. Brood in all sorts of trouble. Gets fingered as well. Brood still barely alive, but will end up going down. They're going to double buy back. The Rolling Thunder coming in from FBZ. Armel, he's stuck on a cliff. Has got an Astral Step if he wants to get down to the low ground. Aeon just is propped at Gabby. Trying to just burst down this FBZ Tango and will be successful. So the chase is on. They want more. Armel has a Yule Scepter if he can get close enough, but no Astral Steps to chase with. Hawk doesn't want to chase too far because he'll end up on his own, and Gabby did not have the same mobility to chase these heroes down, so...
You're completely fine if you're Boom there.
Yeah. They had to use multiple buybacks.
And they had to use the meta, so... Yeah, after this meta is down, Boom can, again, do whatever they want on the map, but... Well, like Dreamercells Axe, like... He was not getting this sort of calls in the other game where he played Axe and he lost.
Tims is in the pit. He got the cheese.
Oh,
he found
sniff. Oh, yuck, he says, but great. Tims is so serious, dude. He doesn't even make a voice line or like a chat wheel or anything. He's just like, these are guys.
Yeah. That almost feels like, yeah, something you should let your opponents know about because it could be a bit demoralizing. Like, hey, by the way. Or maybe you're hoping to surprise them. Like, they may not expect Armel to suddenly pop a cheese in an upcoming team fight.
You know what Tim should do? He should just go to a lane and just drop the cheese. And just like stand there, pick it up.
Deny the cheese.
Hilarious.
For SCA fashion, denying Aegis, that's 2014, Oh, Blink Call, Axe. Ashes out Tims. And he gets blowing up.
There's no buyback. Like, they have no meta. That was quite a bad death, actually. Like, when your meta is down, you need to understand that, Boom, they do not care who you show, they're gonna jump. You have no meta, you have no way to turn the fight. So, anyone that shows, they're gonna jump. And for it to be the hook wing that has no buyback is a bit of an issue. If manages to touch the base, but seems like the creep waves are just a little bit too far right now.
They maybe not feeling like Hoodwink alone is a big enough kill to go for any crazy high ground plays. They are getting some good aggressive wards. Marana roaming through the top side of the map gets a high ground base ward. Scout out a lot of formation here.
And the Gabby, Terrorblade, actually he bought a Swift Blink because he also feels that he needs the mobility to catch up in the fight. Because he has no disables in the fight. I
like this. Yeah, it does no longer have the boots, but yeah, the chase factor as well as the bonuses you get when you teleport in. It'd be nice for him.
Yep, no buyback though. ED on X as well.
Another smoke coming out from Boom. They're charging towards this dire side of the map. There is a Radiant Observer Ward, Sentry Ward on the high ground. Dreamercell in the front lines. It's going to catch anyone.
Dreamercell even has a moonshot on his X-Men, this guy.
Oh yeah, he got farmed. I mean, doesn't even want the Acceptor. It's like, that Acceptor's not any good.
I mean, it is pretty good because it gives it reduces the cooldown of the call by 3 seconds. I think that's like the most important thing for him. But he'll probably angle for it now after since he's maxed out. He just queued up the Aga right now.
I mean, the move speed aspect of the battle hunger is being applied to.
Yep.
Now, next Roshan respawning in 40 seconds time. Where, I mean, maybe that's the Axe is like, oh, I'll get a free Axe. I mean, at this point he's so rich, even if there's an Axe drop, it's almost like you're better off giving it to like a support, like a Lion or an Axe drop. Here we go, TnC. Howling over this cliff, trying to keep the vision. Gabby blinks in with the BKB Metamorphosis. The 2 lag unfortunately coming out, but no Invoker for now. Does have a buyback if he wants to commit it. He's going to use it. Throws out the Cataclysm. The force he gets the egg off. Oh! But just to save his life, it's not going to actually lead to any kind of a team fight. At this point, TnC may have to disengage. The Metamorphosis still has a bit of time left on it.
The Roche is going to be out in 2 seconds. Let's see. You have meta. You see it?
Okay. They do see it. Is there enough time with this meta? And they don't have the Supernova.
Dire's bottom tower is under
Maybe they're
attack.
going to be a bit afraid. You're talking about Roche into Pangolier, Rolling Thunder.
Radiant
Okay, it's still on
scanning.
cooldown, but looks like TnC are going to play things safe and back off for now.
Boom. They're just going to do it, I think. Meta.
Spiderlings nearby. Anybody going to go for a steal? It's Armel. You got to imagine he's maybe considering it.
Then
Spiderlings see exactly how much health is on the Roche. Lock is nearby as well. Drop the Cataclysm, get some information. They actually take out the Phoenix. 1 hero down.
The Roche is low again and they leave. I've seen this story before.
See how it goes with a blink call, catches Armel. He's got the A on this, so that's going to keep him alive. The buyback coming in from the Phoenix. Simulate to get out of there.
Oh, he has a refresher.
Blink in, refresher. TB, he's got another meta. That's going to completely catch him by surprise with the arrow. It comes in, it catches Armel. He needs a save. He gets his defensive heals. He's still going to cheese as well to play around. And the Rolling Thunder coming to an end. As Boom, forced to completely disengage.
Roche.
Great refresher pickup. Gabby unlining the item they needed for the perfect moment here. The arrow is going to hit Roshan and they're going to secure themselves an Aegis. Armel picking that one up.
Wow.
Huge find. What else did they get?
How did Gabby manage to find the goal for the refresher? I was clicking on him and he was like 1.5k away. I think he sold something. I'm not sure what. Dragonlance maybe? Wow, that just changed the entire game. Just the one play.
Yeah.
And
he got the Axe Blessing as well. So he went all in. He's like, I don't need buyback, we need a second meta.
Boom might lose right now if they try to fight. Maybe they don't know that the TB has the small meta. Boom is playing so aggressive.
Able to connect that initiation. 50 minutes in. I mean, it feels like we're in the super late game, but we're still 10 minutes away from those tier 5 items, so still a bit of a ways to go. The Bok Hex pickup as well, setting up that initial Invoker kill. They just timed that initiation perfectly.
Yep, they went for I think the only hero out of everyone that didn't have an Aeon Disc. Like, okay, the Aeon Disc is on Lion and Angle. The Invoker does not have an Aeon Disc.
That crazy late game territory. Fort Marana saying, I can be a core now, has an MKB queued up, so I think even more attack speed, damage. Still anybody's game. TnC may have got themselves the Roshan haul, but it is still Boom who have an 18k gold lead. A lot of farm cores, whereas TnC, they're all in, it feels like, on this TB. Brood has fallen off. He managed to find the perfect item to have a big impact on that last fight, but it doesn't really feel like he's a core here in the late game.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
They still do need Boom to kind of miss position like they were. Like the Invoker was kind of too far forward without Aeon Disc for the Hex to be very impactful. In other words, the Hex is not that big of a game changer. Like in the macro sense, it doesn't change the fight, but because Boom were unaware of it, they got the position too far up. That's why it became such a game-winning.
Got the Aeon Disc now in his backpack. At this point, surely you just sell the Midas. He maybe wants to use it once or twice more, but your Midas is already
Shadow.
One last
Paid
time.
off. Exactly. But then he's going to use it one last time and be like, okay, what about one more? Put it in your backpack, you know? Like, yeah, it takes longer to come off cooldown, but you can still have it in your backpack if you really want.
Time to greed gets the better of you, you know?
Yeah. That's money towards your buyback. I guess buyback being on cooldown means he's not really too concerned about it. Wait for it, Armel. See if we can set up here. Gabby blinks in. Looking to catch him with the Terror Wave that off the mark, and good play from Boom just to get the hell out of there. That TP committed the Metamorphosis. Oh, sorry, no, just the Terror Wave. He didn't actually Metamorphosis. Got that Metamorphosis.
Yep, this TB is a huge issue right now because on Boom, right, for them to commit onto this TB, it's like they really need to have the confidence to be able to do it, but because your combo might just be messed up by something so simple as like a 4-star, and then suddenly this TB is gonna make it be asunder. It's so hard to like tell yourself like for the team's communication like plan to be, guys, if we see TB, we're gonna jump. Like it's just difficult to fully commit onto the TB.
Yeah. Lions here headed towards the top lane. Imagine they're all too interested in any kind of a high ground. Heroes like Engo,
Radiant's top tower
Invoker,
is under attack.
They are looking to take some map
Dire's
control, much like
structures
Boom,
are
looking to keep the
fortified.
pressure on this bottom lane. Maybe we'll get a tier 2 tower without
Radiant's
much
top
of a
tower
fight.
has fallen.
If they go for
Dire's
anything more, I
bottom
think
tower
TnC
is
have got to
under
be
attack.
thinking, let's just back off. Only 50 seconds left. The Aegis, and going to make sure they have required buybacks for any kind of upcoming fight as well, I imagine.
Yeah, all the games today, we have seen the teams that take an Aegis posture aggressively, and the teams that don't have the Aegis posture defensively, and like nothing really
Radiant's
big
middle
happens,
tower
you know,
is under
with the
attack.
Aegis time. It always feels like
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Taking some out of tier 2 towers, which is, you know, not completely insignificant, but definitely not a game changer by any means.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
Does mean if, you know, if TnC ever win a fight, they can push that a little bit faster without having to worry about those tier 2 towers.
yep. It also stops it stops like creep cutting because tier 2 towers are there to protect your racks because your opponent cannot hit your racks, right? And the tier 2s not being there just means like as long as TnC, if they win a fight, they have one lane of creeps, they can take Mega instead of having to reset and clear a tier 2 tower.
The prize is mine.
When it comes
He
to,
again.
I mean, okay,
Double damage.
doesn't have the bottle charge, so don't think this will be used in a team fight or anything. What are the big deciding factors for what looks to be, you know, the next big crazy team fight? What's the big things to look out for? Like, what's going to win either side?
I do think that the way they win the fight is to kill the TB for Boom. Way in which they do that, somehow maybe this Lion needs to look for the hook wing because the only save on Dire is a 4-star on the hook wing. Phoenix actually doesn't have Aga, he doesn't have Glimmer, he doesn't have 4-star. So the only thing that's stopping this TB from dying is the hook wing 4-star because they have a lot of damage on Boom. They have the Pango to chain stun the TB as well. They have a finger, they have double Fatalism, they have Refresher Orb on the Invoker. And this axe does a lot of damage on the TB because it does pure damage. As long as they stop hook wing from 4-staffing this TB, Boom can kill this TB. And if he uses meta and dies, then you only have to worry about one meta left. He has a Refresher Orb.
Sitting on 10,000 gold, this Terrorblade doesn't really have anywhere to... Could get the moon shard still, actually, but other than that, there's not a whole lot. Making their move towards his mid lane, smoked up, but no targets in sight. Gabby pokes his nose forward. He's got to be careful. That mana drain, dealing with these illusions well. And having this shard able to become spell immune as well when he's going for it. Bring this out. Does he want to go on Gabby? Right now, it looks like the answer is a definitive no. He's looking for a different target.
Yep, like I said, if they don't see this hook wing, it's super hard for them to make a team decision to go on this TB.
Top Ace Rune. Power Rune's not as important perhaps as it once was, but still something to consider a little bit. Phoenix going to snipe the outpost with the dive on through. Be reclaimed if want to, and fight ring. Any crazy level 30s that you see? Like any hero that's going to benefit from having their double talents? I think they're very close to level 30.
I have no idea because I never ever reached level 30 as a plus 5 hence. Let's have a look.
Feels bad, man. Feels bad.
The Mirana's 25 could be pretty nice if they always have like permanent black shadow on the map. It'd be pretty hard for TnC to deal with.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Do they have a gem? Yeah, that's the same. Feels like one of their frontliners needs a gem, and yeah, Void Spirit Armel basically forced to carry it, it feels like.
That was kind of weird that he's the one holding the gem and the Brood is the one holding the cheese. I thought it would be the other way around.
Ah, yeah, that's true. I guess maybe there's more worry that the Brood either dies in the fight or has to sit back a bit. I'm not sure about that, but
maybe the Phoenix's 25 is going to be quite important. He adds the
jungle
stun
has
rate
everything that's desired.
because he might be able to just make it such that his TB survives on a sliver of HP with that heal with the lock.
next Roche is up. And to that point, these late game Roches are not always going to have the item slots to pick up an Aegis. I guess someone like keeping the first backpack to BKB and just first life without BKB and a second life with. So cautiously. This is just game 1 of this best of 3.
Illusion!
Things really beat up in one of the most competitive stacked regions for these Ti10 qualifiers. Unfortunately for Southeast Asia, the teams were so even during the DPC leagues. Only one team, T1, qualified directly to TI. Teams like TnC, Boom, Fnatic, SMG, Motivate Trust, all fighting over just one slot. As mid lane, FBZ gets jumped with the Hex, has the Aeon to turn this one around. Gabby gonna now look to focus on FBZ, not enough damage coming out from him as the Rolling Thunder doing a good job to lock him down with the clip near as well and snaring them. No kills just yet, Hyde's being chased down as well. Cataclysm coming in, doing good damage here, but it's not enough. TnC still healthy through this one. The kill is gonna be on the Pango, who doesn't buyback. Does he want to commit it? For now he's holding on to it. Dive on forward from the Phoenix. Doesn't set anything else up, and it looks like TnC maybe going to back off. Could consider going for Roshan if they want to. Have the refresher in the TB's backpack still if they need that next Metamorph. Pango is going to go for the buyback.
Roche is up.
Yep. TB brings the refresher and he's going to pop that and probably have that next Metamorphosis.
Radiant are scanning.
For now, he's not using it right away. Throwing out scans, trying to get an idea of where the others are. Off positioned aggressively. Woo! Okay, Armel goes down, instantly buys back. They're looking for more on the backline. FBZ, he's found Tims. Tim's in some trouble here. He tries to pull stuff away, but that's the hoodwink down. That's a lot of the save. Lock on the Brood. As his Aeon disc pop, he's trying to chase down Mikoto, but he doesn't really have the tools to do so. Not on his own anyways, as TnC commit multiple buybacks. Both teams disengaged for now. This is on. Armel coming back into the fight without a buyback, without a care. He catches that Hyde to blink call from the Yak. He's trying to turn this one around. He catches that Bok with it. Bok getting along the Brute, but he gets shielded up the cheese. He keeps himself alive with it. Mirana, who dies, buying back instantly. Gabby still alive, needs a Sunder target if he maybe wants to continue fighting, but he's okay for now. Both teams
no kata.
Five alive.
I think TnC is just gonna do it. There's no kata, there's no refresher on the Invoker.
Yep.
Cooldown, like, Gabby's so good, he knows.
Yep. Metamorphosis is available after the refresher. Gabby. Here this Aegis, that's something maybe. Oh, hold on. Bok gets caught by the blink call, out of position, does have buyback, but I don't think he was expecting to get caught there. Bit of a mispositioning for him, perhaps, and TnC aren't able to get this Roche right now. They still have most of their tools.
Seen this story? Why is this game?
What's it gonna be? Do they try and go for this Roche? Who's even grabbing it? Who's got room for it? Boom's just waiting on the high ground. Spiderling scouting them out though. Armel jumps into TnC. TnC's got the Aeon disc. Can he get any of his spells off? Has a finger of death if he can turn to use it. The Force Cells keeping him alive. The Rolling Thunder. Gabby, he's okay for now. He gets sunned up. There's the Cataclysm. Gabby gets low. He needs a Sunder target. Where's the target? He needs to pump his Satanic, Sunder, anything. He's still okay for now. Gets the Satanic off. He's healing back up. The Axe getting very, very low. Can Dream himself survive through this? Gets another pole off. He's trying to turn and fight. He gets hexed up now and he can't sustain himself much longer. Gabby finds the Sunder on the Boomy. He keeps the He gets back to low. He's still going down. And with the meteor, he goes down. TB, buyback. Dakota with the BKB in the front line, trying to right-click him down. Void Spirit does not have buyback. Carol afford to die. The Aeolus is going to wear off, and now Armel. Astral Step. He gets out. Impale. Oh, they're going to catch TnC also in that buyback. If Armel can survive, that's huge. And with the Miranda dead and with all the buybacks, TnC actually have 5 alive still. TB's buyback, allowing them to turn this in Dream Cell, goes for a BKB, TP out, cancels, sorry, BKB, looking to run away. Both teams just somehow,
Holy
9
shit.
heroes still alive. I feel like we just saw 9 buybacks?
I don't even know.
Roshan
8
has
buybacks have been
fallen to the
used.
Immortality.
Lion and
Who's gonna
Invoker are the
take
only heroes.
Void Spirit
Every,
Aegis.
Damage.
every dire hero used buyback that fight.
I'm not even the one that casted that, but I'm breathless.
Oh, by the way, tier 5 items. It's 62 minutes, and I don't think anyone actually has a tier 5 item.
Oh, the X just
Until
got the
now.
X Machina. Oh,
alright.
They got a
I
Seer
hope-
Stone. God damn.
Hopefully we have a second to think about it. Is that good? Seer Stone, is that good or not?
I don't
Not
think it's
really, right?
ideal because you can't use it on your cores, right? Daily, you want
Yeah.
4 items, like at least 3 good items for your cores, and then supports can just take the nonsense, you know?
Maybe a
Radiant's
support,
middle
just, I mean,
tower
the
is under
vision
attack.
reveal.
Yep.
Or Seer ability. For
Radiant's
that one.
top
Axe
tower
maybe
is
trying to
under
get some more
attack.
neutral items, just farming the enemy jungle. Every time we get to 60 minutes, I'm always like, can we just pause and like reread what these tier 5 items do? See them so rarely.
Yep.
Rude they
Book of
Cool.
Shadows. That one is pretty
Yeah.
interesting. It's pretty, even myself, like the first time I got it, I didn't know how to use it, but actually, silences, it disarms and it mutes. So basically, you can't do anything, but you will receive AoE damage. So if he uses a Book of Shadow on like a Pango or Invoker or anything, they just like
Yeah.
they just can't do anything for 3 seconds. They're useless.
kind of like a Doom in some way.
Do without damage.
Marketed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's only an 8-second cooldown. Like you can use it a lot of times, many times in a fight. If
Yeah.
if your main job, which is as a Broodmother, you just want to cause chaos on the back line, right? This is like the X. Maybe it's like one of the best items that you could have gotten. He just runs to the back, he
Radiant
presses this
are
thing on the.
scanning.
What if he presses this item on the Invoker while the X goes into call? Then there's just no kata, you know?
Giant Ring comes into play, TB. I'm
Invisibility.
just going to go for the Mirror Shield, but the Giant Ring. It gives move. He's playing without boots, so I think the movement speed aspect of this is pretty big. Plus, I mean, everything about it. The strength, the movement speed.
The range just looks
Nothing.
scarier, right?
Jump in top. Gabby,
Oh, he's
he's
huge.
absolutely massive. This is one demon you do not want to F with.
Oh, it's huge! Oh my god, so scary.
Oh boy, a thing of nightmares. And if whoever loses this game is going to be having some nightmares about playing a 65-minute game.
He looks
Here we
like
go.
the Dragon Knight version. Black Dragon.
Blink call. They're going on the TP. Is there a Cataclysm to follow this one up? They get the Sunray. They're trying to heal him. Gabby gets pulled into the egg. They need to kill this egg. Can they get it? Where's the Mirana? They're getting low, and they get both. No buyback. No! It's a disaster. TnC. They've got to find a way to cut their losses here, but they've lost 3, make it 4. They're the ones going for the high ground push, and Boomy gets hit. He tried to pull the TP in. I think he
was
had
so
to.
distracted by the huge TV.
Oh.
He just died.
Even with the Mirana dead, they were able to kill the egg.
The moonshot on the axe, making all the difference there.
Oh, Axe, by the way, is that his rapier? Who bought this rapier? Where did that come from?
He just bought the rapier because he wants to end the game. He just bought it and then he
Sure.
finished it.
Okay, makes sense. And no buybacks.
Dire's middle
It's the
tower
best way to
is
end
under
this game.
attack.
Straight to the tier 4 towers. He hits so goddamn freaking
What
fast.
happened there? They used 2 4-stars on the TV. They're holding and the Phoenix both 4-starving at the same time.
Dire structures are
Oh, and the Phoenix
Over.
has Aga
Rapier,
as well.
rapier. Invoker, Hanger. They're just all buying rapiers. I love it. I mean, they know the game's over.
Radiant victory.
Holy moly.